with Jeannie's Designs. This is what we're making today. This is the Fiona. It's a new pattern from Lindshandmade. I'll link it in the description. But it is adorable. It's got a flap that has a large zipper pocket. It doesn't go deep. It just goes to the end of the flap, which is really kind of nice. And on the inside, you have another zipper pocket and a lot of room on the inside. And I mean, it is, look at that. Nothing on the back. And then on the front, I did put one of my new tags, which I absolutely adore. And then an adjustable crossbody strap. Look at that. This is what we're making. So let's get started. Hi everyone, this is Barbie with Jeannie's Designs. And I'm getting ready to do the new Lindshandmade pattern, the Fiona. She's graciously given me permission to do any of her patterns, just as long as I obviously don't share any of the details, which I very much try not to do. But this is the pattern. It's a fold over bag, and it's called the Fiona, and it's got a zipper, flat pocket, interior zipper pocket, spacious interior magnetic snap closure, and it measures 11 by 7 by 2.5. I think it'll be fantastic. So let me get all the pieces in front of me and then we'll do that. All right, so the Fiona pieces are a zipper overlay for the inside. And I'm using this batik vinyl from Indo Love Creations. Love it. And then I have some zipper tabs. This is the lining fabric that I'm going to use, just a lightweight. I think this is from Indo Love Creations too, but it's a lightweight waterproof canvas. So I have that. My strap connectors out of this. This is 2 of them, which I'll just cut into 2 pieces. The flap I am doing in a black. So I have 2 pieces of the black. This is, I believe, from Lauren Mormino, and then has 2 pieces for the lining for that. There is a zipper pocket, which is out of the waterproof canvas. And then the interior, again, is out of the waterproof canvas, no interfacing. And then the exterior bottoms I'm doing in this batik. And I did put a piece of fleece out of the seam allowances on this, just to give it a little softer feel. I don't think it's necessary, but I decided to go ahead and do it. So we'll see. I did cut out some fleece for the top flap, which I might as well use too. The difference, why I haven't put it on yet, is this black is much thicker and sturdier than the batik vinyl. So I probably won't use it. And then there is 2 zippers, which I had both of them here, and one fell on the floor. And she gives you the measurements for both of them. So I'm using this pretty kind of a teal aqua zipper tape number 5. Then I'm using this batik webbing that I got from Indo Love Creations. She doesn't sell it anymore, but this is my last piece, so I thought, oh, I might as well use it on that. And then I have 2 1-inch swivel clasps, 1 slide adjuster, a narrow slide adjuster because I'm using webbing, 2 D-rings, and then 2 zipper pulls. This is the zipper pull that I'm going to use for the inside. It's just a normal zipper. And then this is the zipper pull I'm going to use. It's a seashell. It's very weighty. That's what I'm going to use for the outside flat zipper. And that is it. That's all there is to this bag. I think it's actually a fairly quick sew. I haven't made it before, so we'll see. And I'm also using my iPad for reading the pattern, so that tends to take me a little bit longer, so I apologize in advance for that. But let's get started. Thanks for watching. Be sure to click subscribe, like, and comment. I appreciate each one of you, and I'm having so much fun. So let's go. All right, so let's do our webbing first, our strap. So I just put that up and over my slider, and I am going to do a couple rows of stitching because I don't like putting holes in my webbing. And I'm using a variegated thread, so it's gonna look, I don't know why it's pulled like that, but that's okay. So I'm just doing 2 rows of stitching. And one more. I gotta fix this. There we go. My foot was a little askew. Oh no, it's still going askew. Let me get this done and then I'll fix it. Let me fix my foot. All right, so we have our slider on there. Now we're gonna, without twisting it, we're gonna put our first swivel clasp on there. And let me see if I did it without twisting it. It's a miracle, I did. Then we're gonna put that up and through the slide adjuster and back down. And attach our other swivel clasp and do some stitching there. You're probably asking me why I just don't do a box, because I cannot. I've tried over and over to make a box look decent, and it just never looks good. I don't like it. I gotta decrease my stitch length a little. And one more row of stitching close to the you know what? I gotta change my foot. This foot is acting up, so hold on 1 second. All right, so my foot issue was a user issue. I had the wrong piece that goes together on the foot. Now it's working perfectly. Don't ask me. So I finished the crossbody strap, so that's all good to go. And I'm using silver hardware, so I am going to be using one of my tags, which is a beautiful thing. The next thing I'm going to do is my connectors. So I just have a long piece, which I'll divide in 2. And I'm just going to sew down each side. And then I'll cut these in 2 and put on my D-rings. You know, it's funny because when you are used to a machine and the stitching doesn't look right all of a sudden, and you know, something's just not right, you know something is askew. So I knew it. And now look, I have, look at these. I have 2 different kinds of D-rings. I'm kind of discombobulated, so let me go get that. Hold on. You know why I'm discombobulated today? Because I had to go and have a crown this morning on one of my teeth. So I'm all, it was fine. It went really good. I didn't feel a thing. But my appointment was at 8 o'clock, and I went in there, waited for about 20 minutes. They kept coming out and saying, we're sorry. Their server wouldn't come up for their computers, and so they couldn't do it. And I said, no worries, just call me and we can reschedule. The poor staff were like, oh, we're so sorry. I said, no, it's not a big deal. I used to work for a computer company. I know these things happen. So they called me about 10:30 and said, okay, would you like to reschedule? And I said, sure. And they said, well, would you like to come in now? And I was like, oh, okay. So I went right back in. I mean, they did a fabulous job. And I didn't feel a darn thing. So I count that as good. I got my temporary on. So I'm being careful what I'm eating on that side. And in a couple of weeks, I'll have my new crown. My tooth had cracked. Don't ask me how that happened. I have absolutely no idea. But it had. And so, you know, rather than let things go like that, you got to do it. So, thank goodness I have a little dental insurance. So, all right, there's my 2 D-ring connectors. Love it. And actually, I don't think you needed to fold it up, but I'm going to leave it for now until I get to that part of the pattern. I don't think you need to fold it up like that. All right, let's see what's next. The next thing we're going to do is she gives you directions for putting a hidden magnetic snap. I am just going to use a regular magnetic snap with my my rivet. So I have a rivet ready to go. So I'm going to put my female portion down here. And I have a couple extra pieces of Decaville Heavy to make that secure. So there's one. So that's on the front piece. And then on for the inside of my flap, I'm putting the male portion. Again, 2 more pieces of Decaville Heavy. And so it'll go like this. My flap will come down like that and snap. And then I think I'm going to put my logo right here. Let me get a center mark. Oh, I have my center marked. And I'm going to go up 2 inches. And just put my tag on. Let me see. I haven't been able to use these because I haven't really used a ton of tags recently because I've been doing really small things, or I haven't used this hardware. I haven't used silver or rainbow hardware. So since I'm using silver, I thought, oh, I'll just do that today. Okay. Let's get that on there straight. That is way not straight. And another piece of Decaville Heavy. My seam ripper didn't do a good job, so I'm resorting to my X-Acto knife. All right, let's put that on. Make sure it's pretty straight. I have to tell you something funny while you're watching me do this. If you watched my last video, this is going to be noisy. I said that I had decided to bring my mom's sewing machine back from Kansas City, but we couldn't fit it in our car on this trip anyway, so that really wouldn't have mattered. But we're trying to figure out how to get it. We got it out of the house, since the house is going to be closing here shortly. But to ship it, one quote was like $1,300. I said no thanks. We'll make a trip, another trip to see family and stuff rather than pay that. All right, so there's the logo. I love it. Okay. All right, what's the next step here? Let's see. Okay. Inside lining, we're gonna add our facing. And I did mark all my centers, so you should too. We're gonna come down what she tells you to in the pattern. Oh my goodness, that doesn't feel equal at all. Hold on a second. I don't think I marked my center right. No, it is. That's weird. Let's see. Oh, I know what I was doing. I was looking at the side here, and I can't go by that because... Oh, you guys. You're going to have to just bear with me today. Today is one of those days that everything is just like, what are you doing? So, sorry. It's weird. I don't know why. All right, so come down what she tells you to in the pattern. Just make sure it's pretty centered and straight. I have double-sided tape on here. And now we're gonna, okay. I may need to go get a cup of coffee. Maybe that's it. I don't have a cup of coffee on board. And now we're gonna just sew around the outside edge. I am gonna pull that to the back. Going slow around my corner. Pull that thread to the back. But can you believe that shipping quote? Now that it did include packing because, you know, we're not there to pack it. But I'm like, $1,300? It was actually a little more than that, $1,300 and something. I looked at my husband, I said, let's just go. Let's go make it another trip. we'll see everybody again, and we can take your mom out for her birthday dinner. Just like, it's just, things are so expensive today. It's really gotten out of hand, I think. You know, I don't know what there is to be done about it, honestly. But, okay, so there's that, and we'll cut down the middle there. I can find my scissors. Turn it over and make sure you're not cutting your overlay when you're cutting the fabric off. This doesn't need to be pretty. So there you have your zipper overlay. It's a pretty good size inside zipper, which I like a lot. All right, let me get the next steps ready. Hold on. All right, so take your shorter zipper and lay it right side up on top of one of your zipper pockets. And I'm just gonna base that in place. Although she says, yeah, based in place. Okay. And then attach your other piece right side up. And I marked all my centers, so this is actually pretty easy. You could use double-sided tape if you want to. I'm going through a phase where I'm trying not to use it. And if you've watched my videos, you know it's a phase because I go back and forth. Let's base that other side in place. Okay, now I am gonna go iron this flat. I suppose I could use some double-sided tape here. Maybe I will. Let's see how that goes. Let me see. I think it sticks pretty good to this waterproof canvas. We'll see. Yep, it does. All right, let's do that with this side too. Okay. You know, sometimes when you're having days like this where everything is just kind of a blooper, sometimes it's just best to say, all right, slow way down and take your time. It's nothing about making this bag is a hurry. Okay, my husband just got home, just a second. He's out there scouting on how we can do this a cheaper way. I love that, man. All right, now, let's take off one piece of our double-sided tape off the back of our overlay. And we're gonna put that, this is not unlike any other zipper overlay. Get my zipper out of the way and take off the other piece of double-sided tape and lay that down, and then we will sew around that inner box. Okay, yep. And I'll pull that to the center as well, I mean to the back. So there is your zipper pocket so far. Now we're gonna fold that down. And one of these is gonna be way too long, and that's okay. I don't know, honestly, if we, let me see what she says here. Oh, she has you do it a different way. That's okay. Hold on. We are going to leave the bottom open. So I'm going to trim it. And then I'll fold those edges up, just like we do any other piece. I'll fold them, I'm going to fold them this way. And then we'll sew up the sides. Okay, so right side up, turn this over, and sew down each side. The one thing is this waterproof canvas does fray a little bit. So I'm just going to do a little pinking on it to help with that. All right, this other side, let's do the other side. You know, so there's trade-offs with Ottertex, it doesn't fray, and then this waterproof canvas does fray some, but it's much easier to work with. All right, so there's the pocket. I love it, I love it, I love it. And this double-sided tape is kind of peeking through here where we double-sided taped it down, so I'm just going to pull it off. Don't need it anymore. Not necessary. Just making things sticky. All right, so I'm going to prepare my bottom here and just turn it so it's ready to sew up when we turn the bag. beautiful. Somebody said that I say it's a beautiful thing a lot. You guys, I don't even notice it. But after I read that, and I've kind of been aware, I do. I say it a lot. What in the world is that about? All right, what's the next step? All right, so we have our zipper flap. We're gonna just add the, I'm just gonna add the, I'm using the vinyl for this. I cut both just in case I didn't know which ones I wanted to use. So, and then I'm gonna fold that over just like this, and I'm gonna use a piece of double-sided tape because since I'm using the vinyl, this can be raw edge. And that way I'll just cut off the excess. She gives you a specific dimensions for the zipper, so you want to pay close attention to that. Okay, so make sure your pull's on there, number one. Okay, and then I'll just top stitch that. And then I'll cut off the excess. So back here, it'll be raw edge. I didn't even really need to do that. I probably could have just cut like a 1 1/4 inch piece. This will be fine. So there you go, that's what that is. Then we're gonna repeat that on this side. Okay. Again, another piece of double-sided tape. And lay that right on top of the zipper tape on the wrong side. And then we'll fold that over. Just like that, and top stitch. These little seashell zipper pulls are heavy as well. Okay, then I'll cut off the excess. Okay, and there you have your flap zipper. Oh, I gotta cut off the excess back here. Thunder going on out there. It's a beautiful thing. All right, so now we're gonna take the outside exterior piece without the magnetic snap, and we're gonna lay our zipper pull right sides down, and I'm gonna just mark my center on my zipper. My fabric is already marked. Oh, hold on. All right, so let's do the flap. So there's my zipper with the ends. And I have attached it to the outside flap without the magnetic snap. And now I'm gonna attach, I have another double-sided piece of tape here that I'm gonna attach this to, and then I will sew it at a 1/4 inch seam allowance. I'm going to do it from this side because, I'm vacillating because this zipper pull is so big. I'm going to do it from this side. And my vinyl, this black vinyl, is so sticky on my machine. Okay, so that is one side. I'm sure she's going to have a top stitch. Let me just look. Oh, yeah, she does a little trick that I've done before. So now we're only going to top stitch the exterior. I like it. But make sure your seam is going towards the exterior. I'm kind of helping it along because it's so sticky. Okay. That's going to reduce the bulk in the sides. Just an FYI. Okay, now we're going to take the other outside piece and do the same thing. So I'm going to get some more double-side tape. And I put my double-side tape for this purpose is out of the seam. So I'm not worried about it going through and gumming up my needle. My needle looks pretty good. Okay. This is the one with the magnetic snap, and we want it, the magnetic snap towards the zipper, closest to the zipper. I know that feels not correct, but it is. Okay, so there's my oh, I gotta go press my magnetic snaps. Hold on. Okay. All right, then we're gonna add that. So I've got my zipper sandwiched in there, and I really like this vinyl, but I'm gonna have to say it is very sticky. Well, the wrong side of it is very sticky. I love it though. All right, now let's put this other piece, lining piece, right sides together with the other lining piece. And do the same 1/4 inch seam allowance. And I'm just going to sew from this side since the other is so sticky. Just make sure your zipper pulls out of the way. Same thing, turn it over and top stitch only the exterior with the seam going towards the exterior. depending on your materials, it's a little challenging to do. Okay. All right, so that's what you should have. That's your inside. I love these colors. And that's your outside. Okay. Let me read through this. All right, so next step is to put your lining right sides together and your exterior right sides together. And we're gonna sew down the sides only, leaving these two ends open. And your zipper tab should face the lining. I'm gonna start, and this is a good seam allowance. Yeah. And I'm gonna have to come back the other way because I've got my zipper foot on, and it's the other zipper foot. I should probably just bite the bullet and change my foot. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna change my zipper, my foot. Okay, I just put the other zipper foot on. It's much better. You know, you just get used to a certain, and I really get used to my narrow foot, but this, I had my zipper foot on, and so I just changed it so I could get close to my zipper tabs. So much better. So much better. Okay. All right. Now, I am going to trim, and I'm going to use my pinking shears on my waterproof canvas as far as I can go. I might be able to do it. Here, let me see. Oh, I did. This black vinyl is pretty thick, so I'm surprised it did it. Hold on. Okay. Now turn it right side out. I really don't think this black is domestic friendly. I wouldn't recommend it for a domestic machine, but and put your lining inside and poke out your corners, your tabs. Yeah. They're coming, they're just very snug. There we go. That is the way to do it, Barb. I got probably a little too close to this one, but it's coming. It'll be fine. There we go. I just needed a little elbows of grease. All right, so there you go. Isn't that cute? All right, now we're gonna close off this bottom. So I'm just gonna make sure everything's lined up and clip it together, and then we'll baste across the bottom just to close it up. Very cute design. Although I'm a big fan of Lynn's, so all of her patterns are really very cute. I mean, and I'm using material. She really recommends cotton quilting for a lot of these patterns. Although I've done a lot of them in cork and vinyl. This is just a particularly thick vinyl. It'll be fine. Okay, let's just baste that bottom closed and make sure you're catching everything. Okay. Let's see how we did. Perfect. And we're gonna have a bigger stick when we attach it to the bag, so I think it'll be good. I had to take my jacket off, I was getting hot. Okay, so now we're gonna lay this piece down on the back main body, which is this one. And we're gonna lay it, with the magnet right side up, yep. And center it. Because this flap is gonna come over and connect with the magnetic snap on our front. And we're gonna just baste it in place for the moment. And just make sure it's pretty equal, which it is. Okay. Very cute. This is really just such a cute bag. I'm sorry I keep saying that. All right. All right, let me read through these. The next step is we're gonna do the pleats on the bottom. And for the exteriors, we're using a different seam allowance than for the liners, so keep that in mind. So the seam allowance for the exteriors are different, and we're gonna trim that as well. These little pleats are becoming pretty popular because they give the bag some depth without having to have a gusset. So that's what you should have. Okay, let's do the other side of the front. And then we'll do the liners, and that's a little bigger seam allowance for the dart. Okay. Thanks. Cute. One more. One more piece. Okay. You should see my floor after this. I vacuum at least once a day. Mm-hmm. There you go. All right, and now the next step. Okay, so the next piece is to sew your exteriors and your interiors right sides together. But the flap is going up and out of the way, and nestle your darts, one going one way and one going the other. All my materials are kind of sticky today. Even this vinyl is sticky. It's not the weather. It's nice and cold in here. Okay. Now you're going to sew this at 1 seam allowance, and then you're going to sew these two at another seam allowance. So same thing with the interior liners. Clip those together, and obviously the liners have a bigger seam allowance. Okay. All right, so for the outside piece, we're going to sew 1 seam allowance, and for the liner, another. Remember, your flap is up out of the way. Sometimes it just helps to hold things up. Okay. Now for this one, we are going to trim it starting about 1 inch from the top. You're going to trim that real good. So about, I'm doing it between 1/8 and 1/4. And then stop about 1 inch from the top, because we're going to flatten that seam out with some double-sided tape, because that's where the D-rings go. So on each side of your line, or your outside piece that you did not trim, add a piece of double-sided tape on both sides. And then fold that over. And if you want to, until you get to that point, you can just clip it so that it kind of remembers where you want it to be. So I just clipped that. And do the same thing over here. A lot of people do this anymore too. It really helps keep the this area from being too thick as well. Same thing, I'm just going to clip it. All right, now we're going to do our inside, and different seam allowance all the way around. You don't need to taper it, she says. A lot of patterns call for it to start at a different and then taper larger. So you don't need to do that. I like it. All right, and then we will trim that. I'm going to trim it. You don't need to do what we just did to the outside seam, but I'm going to use my pinking shears for this. Okay. All right. Okay, we're going to turn our lining right side out. I'm just going to get rid of these clips that were holding my zipper pocket in place. Very cute. Okay, so there's your lining. Okay. All right, take one of your D-ring tabs, and I did put them raw edge together rather than have that them meet. You just don't need it. Not the way she's doing this pattern. She says measure up a 1/2 inch from the raw edge and mark that. Okay. And then on the exterior, we're going to put the flap in there. And we're going to put our D-rings on that line that we just drew with the D-ring going down, centered on our seam on the side. So you've got about a little bit hanging out the top, which is what you're supposed to have. Okay. And then we're gonna stitch those in place. So just like that. That's how it should look on the outside, and that's how it should look on the inside. Okay, so stitch those in place and make sure you're getting them pretty even. And that your seam is flat. We're basting those in place. And do both sides. And I like to sew it from the right side so I can see that it's nice and centered. I love this fabric for one thing, but all right. Now we're gonna put our lining inside, and the zipper pocket is gonna be towards the flap. So it ends up being right sides together, match your centers, and clip that along the top, matching your sides and your centers. And your flap should be down in there. It's a little bulky, not really too bad. So I matched my centers, and now I'm gonna do my sides. Oh my gosh, you guys, it just fits perfectly. She doesn't have you trim this. And part of that, I think, is a really good idea. It gives those D-rings a little more stability. We may actually put a rivet in there. I don't know yet. Okay. I didn't catch that, did I? It's a little thicker back here with the flap. frame here just a second and I'll show you. Oh, clip broke. I'm gonna have to order some new clips. My clips are all breaking. Okay, now we're gonna sew that together at the seam allowance in the pattern. Okay. I like it. She tells you specifically not to trim the D-rings. So I think that's a good practice. Really. I just want back stitched over them just to give them, all my clips are coming off. Getting there. Yeah, my clips are just falling off because everything's so. It's funny. Almost there. I don't think we'll trim this. No. Nope, don't trim it. Okay, so here's the pockets, our zipper pockets, and we'll pull it through our zipper pocket. I don't think this will be too bad. So I just pulled my flap first. Not bad at all. Okay. Just poke out your exterior. Cute, cute. Poke your interior inside. And then we're gonna top stitch all the way around. So I'm gonna do my zipper, close my zipper pocket last. So I'm just poking it back down in there, and then I'm just gonna close it up and put my interior inside. And then I will flip. It's a little thick on the D-rings, and that's pretty normal, really. All right, so you can't really clip this. So when you go to sew it, I'm just gonna close this so I can see. Oh my gosh. That is so cute. All right, let's do it. Now I am gonna sew it from the outside, I believe. No, I'm gonna sew it from the inside. Oh, I can't decide. Yeah, I'm gonna sew it from the inside. I think it'll be fine. And I'm gonna start on the side over here. And I'm gonna increase my stitch length a bit. Okay, here we go. This is the easy part, just keep that in mind. Go slow. Our flap. So you want to pull your flap out so that it's nice and flat. We're getting there, guys. Straighten it out. All right, let's see how we did. That looks really good. You know, the thing about the flap, if you'd done something that you could iron, that probably would look better, but I can't iron the vinyl. So over time, I think it'll be okay. But there it is. There's the inside, and there's your flap with the zipper pocket. Nice big pocket. And it has a magnetic snap. Look at that. Beautiful. And there's the back. That stitching, I mean, that's perfection. I'm pretty proud of that myself. All right, let's close our zipper pocket and attach our crossbody, and then we'll be done. So Lynn, this is a very cute pattern. I know it took a long time for you to design, as any pattern does, and get it right and have your testers do it, but you did good. This is a very cute pattern. I like it. I'll be making more. All right, let's close that up. All right, nice zipper pocket. I mean, really, this bag is, I would call it a medium to small. It's probably a medium crossbody. All right, let's put our crossbody on. Her pattern calls for hidden magnetic snaps. I don't have any of those, so there's no harm in using a regular magnetic snap if you don't have them. I just can't stock everything, you know. I'm sure you can buy just a few at a time. All right, let me turn you around. Here it is, the Fiona by Lindshandmade. It's not a wide bag, but it actually has a lot of width this way. So there's the back, and this is a gradient Indo Love Creation fabric, batik. Crossbody straps, adjustable crossbody strap. And then on the front, you have the zipper flap, tons of room. And on the inside, you have another zipper pocket with tons of room on the inside. I love it. Oh my gosh, I really, really like it. This might be my new bag. I said that with the last bag too. There you go. The Fiona by Lindshandmade. Thank you, Lynn. Awesome, awesome pattern. Go make one.